wah pedal here, and I love my wah. I have a bunch of them, 6 or 7, different makes and models, years, different guts inside. I've modded some, different things like that. I like them. And usually, though, I don't use them for, like the, waka 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 kind of wah thing. Usually I'm using them kind of right in that like sort of middle sweet spot kind of a thing, more of like a tone coloration, Michael Schenker type thing. And so I decided I would take a wah pedal and see if I could mod it inside. Okay, so the issue is the travel of the pedal, the throw, the sweep, whatever you want to call it. I measured it, and it's right about like 33 millimeters. Okay, so if we start with heel down, calling this 0 millimeters, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way toe down is 33 millimeters, along. What usually happens with most of my wahs is from about 0 to like 8 or 9 or something millimeters down, it's just way too bassy. There's not a lot of volume, and it's just like really that like very bassy, hollow, like kind of a sound, very woofy, very, I don't like it. Then on the other end of the wah spectrum, toe down tends to be really screechy. And on most wahs that I've played, stock, before you mod them or anything, stock, the last like 10 or so, almost like a third of the travel toe down, it all pretty much sounds the same. It's just very high-end screechy. So, if we call this toe down 33 millimeters, okay, if we back it off to 30 millimeters or 28 millimeters or 26 millimeters, there's really no change in tone, very little. So that sweet spot is really that little middle section, maybe like that middle third. So I was sitting here and thinking of the wah pedal, and I've modded a few, and I thought to myself, how could I mod this? What's the easiest way to get heel down to still be 10 or 12 millimeters into the range, and toe down to be backed off about 10 millimeters of the range? So that way I'm taking if this is the whole sweep of the wah, and I'm only going to use this much of it, how can I take this much of it and stretch it out to the whole sweep of the wah? So I thought about it a bit. That's what I tend to do. I kind of think about things and mull them over. And then I thought, well, if I did this and I did this, that's probably the simplest way to go about it. I could go through and start modding all the different values of all the different components and, try to come up with something. But I figured, what's the simplest way? So if I do this and this, that might work. So then one day, just open up the back of it, took out the soldering iron, gave it a shot, and, changed a couple things, trade secrets, changed a couple things, and plugged it in, and it was exactly how I thought it would come out. So I was extremely pleased that I was able to think of a problem, fix the problem just in the idea phase, then actually implement my idea and have it come out exactly how I thought it would work. So basically, it doesn't really wah much anymore, because the heel down and the toe, all the way down, those extremes are really necessary to get the wah to make the wah sound. That's kind of what makes the wah wah. So this is just that middle section. But now I have the entire range of usable, mid-rangey kind of wah tones. So it's really easy to dial in a sweet spot. And one thing that I really like to do is find that sweet spot on a regular wah, find that sweet spot and kind of hover a little bit back off of it and then a little bit more into it as I'm playing, just to sort of vary some of the tonal dynamics. With this, it makes it really easy, because now instead of sweeping the pedal like, that 3 millimeters around the sweet spot, I find the sweet spot, and now I have like a good 10 or 12 millimeters, to sweep, and still heel down or toe down is still very usable tone just all by itself. On this, the heel down is pretty bassy. I wouldn't use it just as is usually, but I did want it to have a little bit of a wah to it. So anyway, let me plug it in and you can check it out and see what you think. Thanks. Okay, so let's check it out. So of course, for the occasion, I have my Schenker V. I was thinking of painting the tread on this white, so white and black, kind of the Schenker thing, just so I could differentiate this one from my other wahs. And then I figured, you know what, I'm just going to paint it red. So it's a little different, red and black, whatever. Okay. So anyway, so that's heel down, and then toe down. So it's still, very mid-rangey. So as you can hear, it does wah a bit. It wahs a bit. It's like a thick wah, kind of like a Jerry Cantrell kind of tone. But anyway, so what it really excels at is just finding that sort of sweet spot. So, as you can hear, sounds pretty cool. And that's what I did to my wah. I think it sounds awesome. So, hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Thanks.